We are shown a dancing hall at the start of the film, which was planned to be demolished and turned into a shopping mall. And today a paranormal investigator has been called here. She is an expert in haunting ghosts. She was standing outside of her powers and was trying to haunt a girl's soul from the dancing hall. The girl's name was Mary, who used to be a dancer here, and her soul has been stuck here for the past few years. And she's the one who doesn't allow to break this place and does not let the work start. The paranormal investigator now stands outside and sends her soul inside. But then Mary's soul comes from behind and grabs her neck, which caused her to be badly injured. Now the woman was also feeling the same thing standing outside. Seeing as the workers who were doing the demolition work and the dealers of this building get very scared and run away from there. Here it is found that this is the fourth group, which failed in its mission. This dancer could not save the dancing Mary's soul. There is a construction company that has been trying to do this work for a long time, but they are not able to do it. This company used to do the work of demolishing buildings and making them again. After this, we see a boy named Kenji, who used to work in the construction company. Everywhere in his office, the talks of dancing Mary were going on. Today, when he was eating food, he is now given the responsibility of demolishing the dancing hall. That is, now the haunted place has to be demolished by Kenji. Like the rest of us, he also gets scared first, but then he decides to take the help of the paranormal investigator. With great difficulty, he finds a group of paranormal investigators who are ready to support him to get the dancing Mary soul out of there. That's why Kenji happily takes them with him to that dancing hall. When these people reached there, they were so scared that no one was ready to go inside, because they knew that Mary is a very powerful soul, and our powers are nothing in front of her. Now when Kenji looks towards the building, he also sees the dancing Mary's soul for a moment. He also got so scared that he quickly ran away from there. Seeing him, the group also ran away. Now, after getting tired, Kenji came back home. He didn't understand how to push away the ghost from there, while the owner of the company was also very worried, because his people were asking him to demolish that place again and again. And he gets tired and decides that if that place is not demolished for 3 days, then I will finally blow up that whole building with a bomb. He takes the help of a man for the work of bombing, whose work was this, and that man was very dangerous. Now when Kenji was eating food in the hotel, he hears some girls talking. They were talking about a student who was a paranormal investigator whose name was Yukiko. She had the power that she could see ghosts, talk to them, and seize the souls of the ghosts. Apart from this, she had some other powers, which were very amazing. Hearing this, Kenji immediately goes to those girls and says that please give me the address of this girl's house. I need her help. I am very worried. For which those girls agree. And now Kenji takes the address of her house and leaves. When he reached Yukiko's house, the door was open. When no one came from inside to make noise, Kenji went inside. Here he meets Yukiko in a very bad condition. She had held a knife in her hand because she had cut her wrist. She was also unconscious, so that we could know that she was tired of her life. That's why she tried to kill herself. Seeing this, he was so scared that he fell there, taking care of himself, and immediately takes Yukiko to the hospital, which saved her life. But he also does not go home. He stays with her in the hospital. Here Kenji met 2 sick women who had cancer. They had very little time. Very soon they were going to die. They started talking to Kenji. They tell him the important things of life. And you live in such a way that you feel proud and always find the purpose of your life. After all, why were you born? Anyway, Kenji left there at night. When Yukiko regained consciousness, the 2 women started talking to her. These people spend a lot of time happily. And so the night passed. The next morning, Yukiko got a leave from the hospital, where Kenji reaches to take her and tells her all his problems. The owner of the company also calls that dangerous man and explains the whole plan, what to do and how to do it, on which the dangerous man agrees and takes this mission and says that whatever happens from now on, it will be done according to me. Kenji now asks for help from Yukiko. Then she is ready to help. After all this, she also tells him that I don't do the work of driving away ghosts and souls. Rather, I do the work of making the souls calm and peaceful. I can talk to them. I can see them. Now Kenji was quite surprised. How can she see ghosts? Says that I was very impressed with your skill. Yukiko says that this is not a big deal. Anyone can see ghosts. Saying that, she holds Kenji's hand. After which Kenji saw everything, black and white without colors around him. Kenji was looking around in this black and white world. That's when he saw a girl's soul standing a little far away, because of which he was so scared that he started screaming loudly. And now as soon as Yukiko leaves his hand, everything goes back to normal. The girl's ghosts also disappeared from there, and everyone started looking colorful like before. We understood that by holding Yukiko's hand, now Kenji can also see ghosts and souls. After which they both go to the dancing hall, and here Yukiko starts her work, and both come inside the building. As soon as Yukiko came inside, started thinking about something, in which she sees a boy with a guitar, the one who came to see the dance in the dancing hall. The girls who were dancing, Mary was the most beautiful among them. Yukiko also sees that Mary's soul has been stuck here for years. And suddenly she started suffocating, because Mary's death was also due to suffocation. She got so sick that she immediately fainted there. Seeing this, Kenji quickly came to her. As soon as he held Yukiko's hand, he could clearly see Mary's soul, which was standing very close to him. In a short while, Yukiko came to her senses. She got to know everything. When Kenji brought her in the car, Yukiko tells him that the boy with the guitar was Mary's friend. They both loved each other. But suddenly the boy with the guitar friend disappeared. Mary's soul is not for any special purpose. She is just waiting for her friend to return. And for this purpose, she has been stuck in this building for years, because she died. But in the last moment, due to not meeting her friend, her soul is not at peace. Yukiko also came to know that the boy with the guitar is dead. That's why she thinks that if we bring Mary's soul and the boy's soul together, and both the souls will be at peace. And no one knew where the boy died, and where his soul can be found. For this, now she will have to talk to the ghosts of the world, because only they can tell whether the boy's soul is with him or not. So now she leaves for this mission. First of all, she meets a farmer's soul. She shows him a picture of Mary's friend and asks about him. When there is no use, she meets a dead soldier's soul. If nothing happens from here, she meets a scary soul of a school, whose half-body was not there. From here, she wants to meet the souls of those people who had died. Then she went to a hospital where there were many souls around her. What can these people talk? Then they go to the cemetery and meets the souls of those people who are living in peace. The souls of these people had found peace and tranquility. When asked about him here, they could not find any information about Mary's friend's soul. No one had seen him. After failing from all places, they started coming back to their car, where some goons were looting their car. Kenji immediately ran and went to the car. He tries to stop the goons, but on the contrary, they make fun of him and start beating him. Seeing this, Yukiko remembered her old time, where she was troubled in school in the same way. She was so troubled that she was tired of her life. That's why she cuts her wrists and tried to kill herself. Now thinking about the old times, Yukiko's head started itching. She was worried. That's why her powers get out of control. Her health started getting worse. These powers spread and even went to those boys. That's why they left Kenji and started fighting with each other. They start hitting her remaining guns, get very scared seeing this. Immediately ran away from there. And Yukiko also faints. It was found out that Yukiko left school because of being worried. When she regains consciousness, she tells this to Kenji. But then she sees a biker spirit, who was sitting there wearing a helmet. Yukiko goes to him and asks about the spirit of her friend. Unfortunately, the biker points to one side and tells that his spirit is there. This made him happy to thank God. We finally met the right spirit. Now they both go on the path told by the biker's spirit. It's night and they reach a strange and dark place. There was a building where these people enter. Inside they see the spirits of 3 people who didn't know that they were dead. Yukiko shows them the picture of Mary's friend and asks about her spirit. Then they tell that her friend sent her to Taiwan because she had a lot of debt on her head. After telling this, those spirits started misbehaving with Yukiko, where Kenji tells them that you are a spirit. So what are you doing? You are dead. Hearing this, the spirits get irritated with anger. They take out a knife from their pockets and go ahead to kill them. And they quickly run away and save their lives. But in a hurry, their legs slipped and they fell down. Then another spirit pulls Yukiko and takes her with it. When Kenji goes to that place and sees, he finds out that it was the spirit of a homeless man who started talking to them. He tells them that my death was in sleep. When a spirit finds out that Kenji works in that construction company, he gets very angry. He got angry and started screaming loudly. Actually, this homeless man and his friends were living very comfortably near the dancing hall, but Kenji's company drove them away and snatched their place. This proved that somewhere this man died because of Kenji's company. This made the man sad and cry, and he shows both of them his dead body, which was now rotting like a skeleton. And the spirit was wandering here. The man says that I want peace. It's someone prays for me. My spirit will get peace. Hearing this, Kenji and Yukiko pray for Kenji to get peace. After some time, his spirit started shining, meaning he got peace. He was about to disappear. But before that, he tells them about a palace where there is a spirit with the cuts, who can help them to find the spirit of Mary's friend. After this, both of them left for the palace. When they came inside, they met the spirit with the cuts. His name was because there were many weapons and daggers on his body, so there were many cuts. He already knew about Yukiko and Kenji's mission, and he also got to know that they gave peace to a homeless man. That man stood up and said that he will help you to find Mary's friend spirit. At this time, the spirit was caught by some goons in Taiwan. After this, the 3 of them boarded a plane to go to Taiwan. After getting off the plane, they were walking in the market. He started telling them his story. He was once the boss of the goons. One day, the boss of the other group joined his people, and a lot of people stabbed him with a dagger and a knife, and he died right there. After this, they reached Mary's friend's spirit's place, where the spirit of the goons held him and imprisoned him. When this man moved ahead, there were 3 goons on the door. Seeing them, he ran, and after pulling the daggers from his body, attacks him. He stabs in one stomach and separates the neck of the other one, and cuts the face of one of them. Now the way was clear, and these people moved ahead, and came to a big warehouse where the goons had a lot of spirits, which now started moving towards them. Yukiko asks him about that spirit, but they don't answer. These people were not going to be controlled like this. So the man with the cuts made a plan to fight them. He started fighting them with his dagger and knife, and started fighting with them. Whoever was moving ahead, he cuts them badly. There was a pile of spirits there. During this, Yukiko and Kenji take advantage and begin to run, and find Mary's friend's soul. But on the way, his spirit of a goon came and scared them. Then he attacked Kenji with the thing, but then the man with the cuts came and saved them. He freed both of them, then beat him badly. A spirit came and stopped him, and he cut him with his hand. When he was beating him, he remembers that they're the same goons who attacked me, and gave me a bad death in which my people are also there. Knowing this, he got angry and decided to take revenge. He got very angry and killed all the spirits, and everywhere there were corpses of spirits. There Kenji and Yukiko finally found the one who was locked up in the jail. They both free him and came to the man with the cuts. Because he helped in finding Mary's friend, did a good deed. His spirit find peace who was once restless, and he also disappears. And they make Mary's friend sit in their car, and begin to take him to meet Mary. Now he was shy of meeting her. He said that he doesn't want to meet Mary. She will get angry at him. Then Yukiko told him that it's nothing like that. She loves you so much, that she has been waiting for you for years. Hearing this, he got ready to meet Mary. On the other hand, the construction company workers had placed the bomb to destroy the dancing hall. During the way, Mary's friend tells them what happened. From we learn their story. Actually, this boy has seen Mary dance in there. He liked her, and made friendship with her. I knowing that she is deaf and dumb. It means neither she can listen nor speak, as she was so intelligent to dance by feeling vibration of the music. Slowly they started spending time together, and they fell in love. He promised Mary that they would become one after marrying. I will always with you and give you a happy life ahead. He bought a house and took Mary to show her. He told her that tonight he would come to take her, and we will marry and will live here forever. But before this, I have to do some tasks. I have to fight with some goons. Mary replies him by writing. She says, I trust you, and I will always wait for you to come. Saying that, she hugged him, then he left. When he came to the guns, they sent him to Taiwan and killed him. Before Mary's dance, her inhaler was lost. She had asthma, so she used to inhale it to breath. It didn't find, and her breath started to lose. She started suffocating and died. Everyone became sad enough that they closed the dancing hall. Later, Mary's soul stayed her, and started waiting for her friend always. After telling the story, Mary's friend became restless to meet her, and asked to fast the car's speed. Because of the overspeed, the police come to investigate. Because Mary's friend wanted to reach as soon as he gets inside Kenji's body to avoid the police inquiry, and began to control his body according to his own. His eyes suddenly turn ghostly and scary, and he tricks the police and starts his car fast. Yukiko became afraid, and suddenly, the woman with cancer in the hospital came in front of them. He kept on driving the car and he goes inside their body, but nothing happened to them. Seeing this, Yukiko was blown up, that they were alive. Actually, they were not alive, but died in the hospital, because they didn't have much time, and they came here to say goodbye to Yukiko. He came there to blow up the bomb. Before he could do that, he blows up the dancing hall. Kenji and Yukiko come there. Now Kenji would Mary's friend's soul. He went ahead to stop this destruction, so they start being him. Meanwhile, his soul leaves Kenji's body and starts moving towards the dancing hall. She go near Mary and he goes inside the building. They catch Kenji and make him press the bomb button. Inside, his friend found Mary's soul and happily started moving towards her. But before their souls meet, all the bombs start exploding, and this building is destroyed in a snap and is divided into many pieces. Everyone was happy to see this. But Kenji and Yukiko started crying after being sad, because before they could meet, they blew up the building, and they couldn't meet. Their hard work was wasted and they lost. Because of this, Kenji got so angry that he started attacking his boss and his co-workers. and started beating them. He kept fighting them for a long time. When he got tired, dangerous people started beating him, because of which he fell there and he had to calm down. Everyone laughed happily, but only Kendi and Yukiko were laughed, who were very sad because of this. But then they saw Mary and her friend in the middle of the broken building, whose souls were absolutely fine. Finally, they hide and meet each other. Seeing this, there was no place for their happiness, because they had succeeded in getting their souls to meet. Now Mary and her friend's souls also started shying, because they also found peace. That's why they disappeared from there. Now the thing to notice here is that Kenji did not hold her hand. He was able to see those souls, which means that this whole incident has given him the power to see and talk to ghosts. Here Yukiko was also very happy, and now she decides to never kill herself, because her thoughts about life had changed. As soon as the mission is completed and they meet, they also happily leave from there. And with this happy ending, this movie ends here.